Imagine bringing someone from the 18th century into our world. They watch us for 5 minutes. People walking down the street staring at glowing screens. Friends sitting together in cafes, barely looking at each other. Rooms full of people, minds somewhere else. Eventually, they would ask a simple question: what are those little screens for? And we would answer: for connection, for knowledge, for community. But if they stayed a little longer, they might ask a different question. If all disconnects you to one another, why do you seem so lonely? That question sits at the heart of Nicholas Carr's book, Superbloom. In 2019, after unusually heavy rains, California's hill exploded with wildflowers, a rare natural event. People called it a super bloom. Photos spread across social media. Hashtags exploded. Within days, thousands of people rushed to see the flowers. Roads jammed. Parks closed. The flowers were trampled. What should have been a celebration of nature became chaos. For Carr, this wasn't just a story about flowers. It was a story about us, a world where a single image can move millions of people without bringing them any closer to understanding. For years, we were told a simple story: more information would make us wiser, more communication would make us kinder, more connection would make society better. It sounded reasonable, but look around. We have access to more information than any generation before us. Are we less confused? We are more connected than ever. Are we less lonely? We speak constantly. Do we understand each other better? Carr argues that the problem may not be technology itself. The problem is that we overestimated the human mind. Our brains were never designed for an endless flood of information. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman described two ways of thinking: fast thinking and slow thinking. Fast thinking is emotional, instant, reactive. Slow thinking requires effort, reflection, patience. Social media is built for the fast system: a notification, a like, a comment, a short video, a small reward, then another, then another. Each one releasing a tiny burst of dopamine until suddenly an hour has disappeared. And you cannot remember what you originally came for. You think you are consuming content, but perhaps content is consuming your attention. In everyday life, other people keep our behavior in check. Their reactions, their expressions, their presence online. May of these limits disappear. No eye contact, no immediate consequences, just distance. And in that distance, different emotions emerge: anger, envy, contempt, the desire to be noticed, the desire to matter. The internet didn't create these impulses, it simply gave them a stage. French philosopher called it hyperreality, A world where the image becomes more important than reality itself. Think about modern life. Before we experience something, we photograph it. Before we enjoy a moment, we post it. Before we fully leave it, we imagine how others will see it. Slowly, the line between life and performance begins to disappear, and we stop living. We start presenting. Perhaps the crisis of our age is not a lack of information. Information is everywhere. The real crisis is attention, focus, silence. We are surrounded by endless simulation. Yet we rarely have time to think deeply, to reflect, to sit alone with our own mind. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius believed that the quality of life depends on the quality of attention. If he were alive today, he might say that the greatest battle of the 21st century is not over territory, not over money, but over the human mind itself. Tonight, when the last video ends, when the final notification disappears, pause for a moment. Listen to the room around you. Listen to your own breathing. Listen to the silence beneath the noise. Perhaps Nicholas Carr is right. Perhaps our problem is not that we lack connection. Perhaps in the middle of endless connection, we have lost contact with something more important: presence, attention, thought, and maybe salvation is not found in connecting more. Maybe it begins when we occasionally step away from the endless stream long enough to see the world again, to see other people again, and most importantly, to see ourselves again. If you enjoy questions like this, welcome to Mr. Brilliant. We don't just talk about books and ideas here. We question everything, because sometimes a good question is worth more than 1,000 answers.